Do doctors ever point fingers at nurses? You want to know what this is about and why it's important in the medical malpractice case? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. So now, in a medical malpractice case, you went into the hospital to have a procedure done. You come out of the procedure with injuries that are much, much worse and now are disabling and in fact are permanent. And now you decide to bring a lawsuit against the doctors in the hospital. And you believe that the doctors violated the basic standards of medical care. It turns out during questioning some of the doctors in your particular case, some of the nurses may be the culprits here. So now, do you ever think that doctors will turn around and say, hey, don't blame me, it was the nurse who caused this problem. Hey, don't blame me, it was that nurse who caused the problem. The answer is, if they're all working for the same employer, if they're all working for the same hospital, it's unlikely that the doctor is going to be pointing a finger at the nurse. It's unlikely that the nurse is going to be pointing a finger at the doctor. Why? Because it means that their employer is then culpable. And the reality is that if one of the employees, the doctor, nurse, hospital staff, is responsible for causing your injury, well, guess what? Who do you think is ultimately responsible for paying your compensation, paying a judgment or a verdict? It would be the employer, which in this case would be the hospital. So where the doctor and the nurses are employed by the same people, it is highly unlikely where we see doctors and nurses pointing fingers at each other. But now in a different situation where you've got a private practice doctor and now he believes that one of the nurses in the hospital caused the problem, well, guess what? There are instances where the doctor turns around and accuses the nurse of causing the problem. And on the other hand, there are instances where the doctor, let's say in the operating room, turns around and says, hey, no, it was the private attending, the private doctor, who caused these problems. So why do I share this quick information with you? I share it with you because this does arise many times in malpractice cases here in New York. And it's important to understand who's ultimately responsible for someone's wrongdoing if they are an employee. You know, I recognize you're watching this video because you likely have concerns or questions about your own particular matter. Well, if your matter did happen here in New York and you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit, but you have questions that need answers, what I invite you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, G-E-R-R-Y, @oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a wonderful day.